Hang on, folks. Don't worry, don't worry. Well, you know what? While we are waiting, I just want to tell you, this is a picture I took. This is a picture I took outside my back door this morning. Okay, so I peeked.
Hang on, folks.
Oh,
Don't
let me.
worry, don't
I
worry.
peeked.
Well, you know what? While we're waiting,
Okay, there we go. So this morning, okay, this guy I call him Ed. He's a squirrel, and he's kind of like the ringleader. So there's a bunch of squirrels behind him, but I feed squirrels. And if I'm not out there first thing in the morning, he comes knocking on my window. So there's at the door actually. There's a wreath under here, and climbs up the wreath, and there he is knocking on the window. Hey, buddy, where's my peanut? Cute little thing for sure. So just to be clear, I don't want to I don't want to make my dog Lucy jealous. So here's my dog Lucy on a paddleboard. This is actually a couple years ago. She loves paddleboarding. So anyway, I thought I'd just show you that while we're waiting. So okay, folks. All right, let's get started now. And I think if I hit this button here, okay, where did it go? There's so much going on here. Okay, hit the record button, right? Hit the record button. There we go. Here. Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to DayTradeSPY.com's Introduction to Trading Week-In Review. And my name is Hugh, and it is December the 8th, 2024, as we head into the end of the year. If you can believe it, here we are. So please use the questions box for your questions and comments. You'll find a little icon on your Zoom dashboard. And I am the only one that sees that, as well as Aaron, but he is not on. We gave him the night off here tonight, folks. We gave him the night off so he can rest and relax. Okay, and thank you for the comments. Yes, I was not on the trading room on Friday. I actually was traveling. Went down to the Washington D.C. area for a Christmas party, and it's quite enjoyable. Really had a really good time. So thank you very much. All right, okay, let's move on here. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to read this disclaimer, which we have to put up there for the lawyers. They have to read too, apparently. So this way keeps us out of trouble. So I'll give you a couple seconds here to read this. Okay, you alone are responsible for all your own trading and past performance does not guarantee future results. All right, let's get started. Okay, there we go. So I want to introduce you to your hosts. My name is Hugh, and I am your host here tonight. Aaron is not with us, but I'll give you a little bit of information about Aaron because he does the trading with me every morning as well. So anyway, I've got a pretty good background in trading. I've been doing this for many years. Learned most of it in the trenches. Okay. That's where you really learn this stuff, folks. You get to experience it all, right? And I would say that most of what I learned the hard way. And those are the lessons that really stick with you. You know, when you lose money, real money, right? That's when you really learn it. So eventually, what I learned from my mistakes, I realized that if I stop doing that, then I at least don't have to worry about that one. And if you stop doing all those mistakes that you make, and what's left? Just to do good things and make money. And that's kind of what happened. So eventually, when I started making money and people started realizing, oh, he's onto something. He's making all this money. He's got lots of vacations now, and he doesn't seem to be going to work anymore. Like to a corporate job. He's nice house, lives in a nice house now, and kids are going to good schools and everything else. They started to say, okay, Hugh, what'd you do? You win a lottery or something? No, I'm just day trading, spy options. Well, got to show me. Anyway, long story short, I started teaching people a long time ago, back in 2010. So what is this, our 14th year now, 14th, 15th year or something? So back in May, actually it was May 2010, I started a rudimentary website and people started saying, just put up on the website as to what you're looking to trade, which I did. And that's what we started with our inner circle. And then we started with our trading room, and then we had some training courses, or various ebooks, different things like that, videos and stuff. And the whole thing just ballooned like that. And then a couple of years ago, Eagle Financial Products bought us out, and they still kept us on, but they brought in Aaron Stevens. Now Aaron's a deep dive technical analyst. He got his first account back in his teens. Worked as a technical analyst for a $150 million commodity fund. We scooped this guy He's an excellent long-term, high probability trade. He identifies those long-term trades. So Aaron uses a different set of indicators and whatnot that I do, and I have my own set of indicators. Now, I like to keep things simple, right? I'm kind of simple guy, you know what I'm saying? If I can do it, anybody can do it. If I can do it, you certainly can do it. Trust me on that one. But anyway, I'll look and see which way is the market going to go, up or down, and just set up here now to get into a trade. If the answer is yes, I'll jump in, and if Aaron sees a trade setting up, he'll jump in. And we have a little saying that says if our indicators, or rather, when our indicators unite, our trades ignite. So if I say I think the market's going up, and Aaron says I think the markets are going up, you should probably buy call options. Anyway, making some certain assumptions here this evening. I'm assuming that you know what options are. Okay, now if you are new to options, you've never heard of options before, whatever, let us know in the chat box, in the questions box. Okay, I don't want to leave anybody behind, but at the same time, I know that most of you are familiar with options trading, and that's kind of what we do. So here's what we're going to discuss here tonight. We'll take a look at last week's where did it go? Come on, baby, get back here. Last week's trades. Um, Hang on, where is it? For some reason, I can't seem to get it up here. Okay, why not? Why not? Okay. Okay, how about let's try it this way here. This is really interesting to be discussed, and then it seems to hang on. What are we doing here? It's making a fool of me is what it's doing. Last week review, now we got to go. And then I guess it's just temperamental. It's just a temperamental thing. Here's what we're going to discuss. Wow. Okay. To be discussed, I'm going to have to work on the slide. Okay, we're going to talk about, I'm going to see if I can do it this way. Wow. Why does this not want to work? I don't know why we are not seeing this one website here, this one slide. This one slide does not want to work. Maybe I could duplicate it down here. Okay, meet your hosts. We got this. This worked in the preview. Trust me. Okay. Okay, to be discussed. And then I just click this last week review, the upcoming week, your challenges, and we're going to ask you your questions and the next steps. I got it going, folks. Give myself a hand. Yeah, that's pretty sad, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, my PowerPoint is temperamental tonight. Anyway, that's what we're going to look at. And again, if you are new to options and you have never heard of options before, you're completely new, let me know in the questions box and we'll see if we can put a little time afterwards and maybe do a review if you need to. But I understand that probably most people here are very, very well versed with what options are. So, okay. All right. Thanks for that. Yes, I got a haircut the other day. Thanks for that, Alexi. Glad you noticed. All right, let's move on here now it's going to come up again, right? It's going to keep coming up. There we go. Uh, Announcements. We should probably just change this to announcement because I only have one announcement here. Spy on the Market. This is our newsletter. It goes out every Thursday. It's just a brief 3-minute read and very light, relevant, entertaining. Even subscribe. Just go to DayTradeSPY.com. That's our website, DayTradeSPY.com. And when a little pop-up comes up asking for your email address, punch that up there and that'll get you on, okay? And this week's topic is why scalps work so well. Why scalps work so well. Some of you may now know that I love to scalp options. That's what I like to do. I'm not in for the long haul, folks. I don't really like to be in these trades for a long period of time. I like to do just kind of get in, make my money, get out. Wait for the next setup. Get in, get out. Make my money, get in, make my money, get out. So get this week's topic, why scalping works so well. Now, if you are fairly new to this and you have not, you're just getting into this, you can actually go back and look at the old newsletters. And if you go to the website, DayTradeSPY.com, DayTradeSPY.com, let's see if we can pull it up here, then you can actually access the old newsletters. I believe they have them archived right here. Okay, there it is right there. And if you go up to the top left corner where it says Spy on the Market, that's the name of the website. Click on that, click on newsletters, and you'll be able to go back and pick up all the old newsletters. There's over 60 of them, and they're pretty good. We can go through each one of these. We can go through each one and read them all to you. I'm not going to do that to you. We'll be here all night. Actually, they're pretty good, and they're interesting. All right, they're not just like boring. Well, here's what the stock did today, and here's a, here's a day trading is sexy. Okay, actually, this is actually pretty funny. This is actually a pretty funny one. Go back to this one. It's the third page in. They're all funny. Anyway, all right, go back and look at these. Okay, I think you'll really enjoy them. Each takes about 2 to 3 minutes to read, so they're not long, onerous, boring newsletters. Okay. People sometimes ask me, Hugh, what books do you read? Any good recommendations? I say, yeah, all I read books. I find that anybody else's books on options was boring. Okay, although I did have two good uses for them. One was if if I ever like if you put books on options up on your on your living room table, right? And your friends come over and they say, "Oh, what's this? Oh, book on options. Oh, really?" And they flip through it. You understand the stuff? Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. They get very impressed. They say, "Wow, that's really cool." So it makes it's very impressive to your friends. How shallow can you be? The other use I find for books on options is if you ever have insomnia, you can't sleep, just pull up a book on options and start reading. Usually, you won't get past the first page, and you're out like a light. So. Anyway, any books on options that I recommend, they're the ones that I wrote. And just ask for those. I'm sure we'll give you a listing of some of those somewhere. There's the whole ton of them. Anyway, here's what we did last week with SPY. Let me just stretch this out a little bit. Okay, why did it stretch out longer? I think there's a little issue there. Okay, let's go this way here. There we go. All right, here's what happened on Monday. On Monday, we had favorable manufacturing PMI reports pushed SPY to new heights. We've been very bullish lately. Very bullish. Ever since the elections, I think we've been very bullish. The market really likes the fact that the Republicans took back control of everything, and Trump is at the helm. So the last time Trump was president too, the market was very, very bullish. Looks like there's going to be a repeat of that. On Tuesday, we had some profit taking retraced early on, but Jolt's job openings pushed SPY higher, tested resistance up at 604, picked up another new high in post market as it kept creeping up here. Okay. On Wednesday, we had the services PMI report, and Fed Chair Powell spoke on Wednesday afternoon, continued to instill confidence in the markets, pushed SPY yet to another new high. We had about 3 or 4 new highs this week. And on Thursday, unemployment claims spiked markets, but ultra high volatility for the rest of the day saw some seesaw action. Excuse me, dropping SPY to test the 606 support level. And then come Friday, well, we had unemployment numbers, or rather employment numbers, bounced around and we came down, bounced off support, hit yet another new high. Those people in the trading room witnessed it at 609.07 before swinging up and down to settle down to 607.88. I understand that Aaron led the trading room on Friday and he had what, 4 good trades or something? Congratulations to those who made money on Friday. That's well done, well done. So I had Friday off. So I take it Aaron had full control of everything and you guys did okay. So also just want to remind you folks, especially if you are new, all right, there's a questions box. Any questions or comments you might have, just punch them up in the questions box and certainly try and get to those a little bit later on here this evening. So, all right, let's move on here. Looking at seasonal charts. So there's seasonality in charts, right? And the way it works is oh, here we go again. Okay, so that blue line, let me just squeeze, or rather stretch this out a little bit here. That blue line is where SPY is now. All right. And the red line is a composite of the last 5 years closing prices on the daily charts. So you can see that, we're pushing quite a bit higher. And let's just zero in right now. Historically, we saw the SPY rose about 3 points over last week, and seasonally it remained fairly flat, all right, going into a week from now. So we could actually see some, I don't know, some up and down movement, but from a seasonal standpoint, not much of a rally or a drop in price if you're going to look at that. However, we are going to get to the Santa Claus rally pretty soon as the end of the year rolls out. Okay, so let's see what inspired markets here this last week. Well, we're still on track for a soft landing as we head into the end of the year. The S&P makes new record highs seemingly every day. Economies continue to grow. There's no sign of a recession. Data supports a resilient economy and the labor market. Fundamentally, we've got a great backdrop for financial markets, remains intact for continued lower interest rates and wage growth for next year. And the U.S. consumer remains in good overall shape as well. So that's a pretty good sign. Here's a chart from Bloomberg. Average wage growth outpaced inflation last year. You see it coming up. There's a bit of a gap in there, right? As they're nailing down inflation, still have some growth as far as wages are concerned. So we're in a good spot. We're actually in a pretty good spot. Take a look at what happened here from a seasonal, rather from a year-to-date standpoint here. The S&P grew 1%, and year-to-date we're up almost 28%. Yes, the Nasdaq's up over 32% year to date, and the Dow's up over 18, almost 18.5% year to date. So it's been a pretty good year all around. And I suspect it's going to maintain all the way into the end of the year. It wouldn't surprise you to see the S&P up over 30% by the end of the year, which is just phenomenal for anybody who's sitting in that sort of long term. All right, looking into next week, the week ahead, we've got no news day on Monday. On Tuesday, we've got OPEC meetings. OPEC meetings. All right. This year is OPEC meetings. Let me see. OPEC. Let me see what they're going to be meeting. This is where I'm going to explain this to you here. OPEC meetings. Okay. So what this is they're held. It's held in Vienna this year, and it's attended by representatives from 12 oil-rich nations. Together, I believe they control about 40% of the world's oil supply, and they get unified in their oil production levels. So they decide, well, we're gonna release so much oil, we're gonna cut back or whatever. So if they start, say, cutting back on production, that could be inflationary, right? Keeps the price high. This is where they discuss how much oil they're going to produce. Excuse me. These meetings are closed to the press, but officials usually do talk with reporters throughout the day, and a formal statement covering policy shifts and meeting objectives will be released after the meetings have concluded. That's going to be Tuesday. Um, Not much else in the news department here on that one. We we have a consumer price index on Wednesday, and on Thursday, unemployment claims and a producer price index. So we got a couple inflationary index indicators, I should say, this week. And these are kind of important. So we're going to keep an eye on this. And this is certainly going to be instrumental to determine whether the Feds will be lowering interest rates or holding them the same at the next Fed meeting, which I believe is coming up. When is this? It is coming up in a couple of weeks, I believe, on the 18th, Wednesday the 18th. Okay, that's when we get the new Fed's fund rate. All right, and on Friday we have another low no news day. Okay, and that's kind of what's happening there. So what does this mean? This is for the week ahead. This means that volatility may be low on Monday and Tuesday, high on Wednesday and Thursday, and then low on Friday. So I would expect modest gains early and in the latter part of the week, then trade to inflationary indicators midweek. So we'll see what happens. All right. In other news, my beloved Buffalo Bills lost to Los Angeles here this afternoon, 44 to 42. Not a good sign because I was listening to some chatter on the weekend that oh, it looks like the Bills are going to be heading into the Super Bowl. Well, I kind of hope so, and sometimes they do, but they never actually win the Super Bowl. So, but I don't know. We can see what happens. I'm not sure where they all stand right now, but anyway, they lost to the Los Angeles Rams today. They lost. Rams beat the Bills 44 to 42. All right. For any football fans out there, all right. Anyway, let's move along, folks. Let's move along. By the way, I don't want to keep you more than an hour here today. All right, I want to kind of keep it fairly brief. So, all right, and maybe even earlier. Usually every on Sunday night, I think I'm going to keep you guys to no more than an hour, and then find myself rambling on for another 10, 15, 20 minutes. Folks, the stock market provides opportunities all day long, every day, every day. All right, where's that? Where's that? Hang on. Why am I not getting my full Monty here? Okay, my for some reason my camera's not coming into play here. Anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit about. Well, this is really interesting here. How about if I do it this way? Current slide. There's supposed to be a camera here on this, and I'm not sure why it is not giving us thing. I'm going to try something here. If I just freeze this, stop share, and then I share it again, will that work? Okay. For some reason, my PowerPoint is just not cooperating here with me today. All right, and I don't know why that is. Okay. All right. Maybe they did an update. Anyway, I want to tell you a little bit about the Day Trade Spy signal. So we have several services for you, several services that would be of interest. And one is yeah, let's try this way here. It really kind of bothers me that I'm not getting the camera here. I suppose I could try something else here. What if I do this? If I hit the video, all right, will this work? Can you see me now? I guess you can see me now in the corner, right? Anyway, okay. Well, if we can't get you on the where we're supposed to be, then I'll bring it up this way. Anyway, I got several services to talk about. And sometimes people say to me, "Well, Hugh, do you have anything where you just give us the trades? Give us the trades. We don't really want to learn this stuff. I don't want to know the mechanics in behind it. I just want to know how to do it." So the answer there is yes. We have this thing called the Day Trade Spy signal. Now, this is a signal that is sent to your cell phone and email when our algorithm kicks in. Anywhere from 3 to 5 times a week in the mornings, usually in the mornings. If you don't get it in the morning, you probably won't get it. And when the trade sets up, then you would buy it right away. So the idea here is to buy it in the next 2 minutes as soon as you get it, and then immediately put it up for sale for 5% target, 5% gain. Okay, and as soon as you do, then just leave it up there for the rest of the day. It should deliver 5% to your inbox. And if it doesn't by the end of the day, simply sell it at the market for whatever it's worth. Now, just to be clear, there's never any guarantees. There's no guarantees that every trade is going to work. But overall, we did the statistics on it, and it's been extremely accurate. And over the long run, you're going to have a profit. You should have a profit. Okay, that's the Day Trade Spy signal, algorithm based. But we also have the pick of the day, similar but different. The pick of the day is such that Aaron and I get together every morning and we bring in all our, whoa, now what's going on here? Holy jeez, oh my gosh, I must have hit something. I think there's something really, I've got gremlins in my PowerPoint here this evening, folks. And maybe it's that squirrel that I showed you earlier. Maybe he's chewed into my PowerPoint somehow. Anyway, the pick of the day is similar. So what we do is Aaron and I get together every morning before the market opens, and we look at all the inputs that we look at, all the various news feeds, Twitter feeds, technical analysis, all these wonderful things, and we fight it out. Okay, we fight it out. So Aaron, it's going up. He says it's going down. I say up, down, up, down, until we get to some consensus. And every once in a while, there is no consensus, and we'll say the market's not showing us anything. Very rarely. I think we probably had it maybe twice or 3 times all year. But we might say to you, it's there's no trade today for whatever reason. But that's very, very rare. Like I said, I don't think it happened 3 times this year. But anyway, we determine up or down. And then Aaron sends out the pick of the day, which is, again, a specific option that you would buy at market open. So when the opening bell rings, you're going to give it a few seconds for the bid-ask spread to settle in nice and tight. Okay, you want it to be nice and tight. You don't want to get in there right away because it could be a huge spread, maybe 10 cents or so, right? And you don't want that. You want the market price to be right in there within 2, 3 cents of the bid-ask. Okay, that's the beauty of trading SPY options. Other options and other companies and stuff, they often have big spreads. And if they don't have the volume, they have big spreads, right? So what I was going to say was you would buy it at market open. Now, you would look at the 1 minute chart, obviously, and if the stock is going against you, just wait until it turns back up. So let's say we say the pick is the calls this morning, calls, but if the market opens to the downside, right, you're seeing pressure to the downside, wait until you see start seeing a 1 minute green candle forming on the 1 minute chart, then get in because you're going to get it for a better price. Okay, and that's kind of the objective there. That's the pick of the day. And the pick of the day is also doing extremely well, very profitable. We were told that you have to have an ending on this. You have to be able to wrap it up. So we tell people, look at it, if it doesn't execute it with a 6% profit that day. So I like to hold it overnight, but we do tell people, look, put a 40% stop loss on it if you really want a stop loss. But it's very rare that it would hit the 40% stop loss. Okay, so, but it's been working extremely well. Usually you get your 6% target very quickly. All right. Then there's the inner circle. Now, this is the very first thing I started with back in 2010. And what I do there is every morning, and usually every morning it goes out somewhere around 9:15, 9:20, somewhere in there, maybe a little bit later. But this is Aaron writes the very brief synopsis as the way we see the market shaping up for today. Okay, we're not smart enough to know where the market's going to go a year from now, or 6 months, or even a month from now, even a week from now. We don't really know, right? Nobody really knows anything, right? But we got a pretty good idea where it's going to go today. So Aaron punches it up and so, well, this is what we're seeing here today, and some support and resistance levels as well. And also with the inner circle members, we'll get an update every day, late afternoon or early evening or something, as to what we actually did, including in the trading room. And again, very brief, takes about a minute to read it. It's not one of these big, long, drawn out things, that you have to read and read and read and read, I like to get my data very compressed, very quick, and that's where I like to give it as well. So the inner circle also every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, Aaron hosts the inner circle meetup. And any questions or comments you have, anything you want to learn, anything at all about anything with trading SPY options, that's where you bring them into the inner circle meetup every Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. All of these products are available through DayTradeSPY. I'll tell you how to best get them, okay? Because there's a big difference on how you're going to get this. Also, folks, I got to tell you about our trading room. Those of you who don't know, our trading is second to none. Our trading room is second to none. It's hosted by Aaron and myself. Combined, we have over 40 years trading experience. Not a whole lot that this passed by us that we don't know. We've pretty well seen everything. We've gone through some ups, lots of downs, and we know what we're talking about. And may not know much. Okay, there's a lot of things I don't know that I would like to know. And I'll tell you what, I'm no good in the kitchen. I don't cook, and my wife is not a big on cooking either. Sometimes she'll cook, but we tend to eat out a lot. Usually about twice a day we eat out. Okay, it's true. And it's not something I really, so I'm not good in the kitchen. I'm not good around the house handyman stuff. Um, Honestly, I'm no good as a handyman. Still learning which end of a hammer to hold, and I've got some basic tools, but usually we don't like to tinker around the house that way, I found that whenever I used to, and I got some stories to tell you about that. I used to tinker around the house. It would usually mean several trips to Home Depot, and usually at the end of the day, calling somebody to fix the problem and the mess that I had made it. It just is a really interesting story. I think I actually talked about this in one of my Spy on the Market newsletters. If you want to go back, I'm not sure when it was. I'll have to dig it out, but it was about when I wanted to build a doghouse for my beautiful mountain dog, Bernese mountain dog, Lucy. I thought, okay, I am going to learn some carpentry skills. This is what I set out to do. And I thought, okay, I'll buy the materials, figure how much materials I need. I'm going to build a doghouse, a very nice, spectacular doghouse. And it was going to be designed like in the Swiss Alps style, very ornate. It was going to be really nice. a big enough doghouse for Lucy to be inside. It's going to be heated. I was going to put a nice heating pad so that in the winter she can go in there and stay warm. We're even going to put pictures on the walls inside. It's going to be really, really cool. I had the plans and everything. And I got to go and buy the tools and materials and everything. And I started putting it together, and it just did not work for me. Very frustrating. I was doing it in the garage, and I took it outside, and things just didn't line up, you know? There's a lot of truth to that measure twice, cut once that I heard and people talking. And got so frustrated that I called my buddy Rod over. Rod is actually very good when it comes to this kind of stuff. And he looked at it and he says, well, he's looking around. He's so embarrassed. Shouldn't even talk about it. He says, well, he says to me, he says, he's looking at it. He's looking at it. He's scratching his chin like this, you know. He's looking at it. He looks at me. He says, you you got a sledgehammer? I said, oh yeah, yeah. I didn't click in, you know, I didn't clue in. He goes, yeah. What do you say? I just destroy it and build you a new one. You can say that you built it. What, you mean really? He said, I can't fix it. It doesn't line up. Things are not square. I'd have to take it all apart anyway. And it was a very heartbreaking thing for me, but he took a sledgehammer to it right there before my eyes. It was garbage anyway. He took the pieces, threw it in the truck. He said, I'll be back in a week or two with a new doghouse for you. It's not going to be in your Swiss Alps style, but I'm sure it's going to be fine. By the way, Lucy wouldn't go in it. When I had sort of put it together, it wasn't very good. And Lucy wouldn't put it together, but just as well because Rod put his head inside the thing that I had. He said, "You trying to kill your dog?" I said, "Well, the nails. You use these really long nails through the roof, and if your dog goes in there and stands up, the nails are gonna, since they're through the roof, they're gonna stab her." Oh my gosh, never even thought of that. Anyway, he did bring back a nice doghouse after. Anyway, folks, I don't know much. I know how to fly airplanes and I know how to trade stock options. And together with Aaron, we have this thing covered for you and we can teach you how to do it. So this is where strategies come alive every morning, 9:20 to 10:30 Eastern time. Learn and earn from the best. And I am going to say we are the best. I don't like to blow my own horn, but I am going to say that we have mastered our trade here, our craft, and these sessions are actually interactive, so you can actually ask questions. They're exciting. They're exciting trading. They're a lot of fun. We actually have a lot of fun here too. And you know what? Even though I've been doing this now every day for the last 14 years, I'm still just as excited to wake up every morning and do this as I ever was, even more so. All right. So you're going to learn and earn from Aaron and myself. And you know what? We teach what we trade and we trade what we teach. Excuse me. Um, have you ever been to a course, an online trading course, or not online, but a live trading course? I have, where the presenter is talking about something, and excuse me for a second. Mm, I had to take a drink because I've been talking much of the day. My throat is very dry. So I would go to these back in the days when I learned this stuff. I would go into these various courses, you know, hotel rooms. They hold you up there for 3, 4 days and don't let you out. And the presenter's going on and on about things. And I always put up my hand and ask the question, so, Mr. Presenter, you trade what you're teaching? And do you know that every single time they said, oh, no, no, I'm just the presenter. I don't trade. It's too risky for me. Whoa, wait a second. What do you mean? You're telling us what to do with our hard-earned money, yet you're not trading this yourself. Oh, no, I don't trade. So I would immediately just close up my books and I'm out of there. The one time they actually asked me to leave, I was, hey, no problem. This is unbelievable. I'm taking instructions from you, but you don't have the confidence to trade it yourself. Okay. We actually teach you what we do. What we do every day, we teach you. And we do what we teach. Okay, so there's no disconnect here. All right, no disconnect. And when I show you numbers that I do, I don't have any here today, but usually every week I'll give you some trades that I've done over the weekend or so, or on Friday or something. But when I give you these trades, these are the very things that we teach you. All right, the very indicators I use, exactly what I go through. So that's what we do. They can watch us make real trades and real setups using real money. We also use sim accounts because by law through the FINRA rules, we have to just show you a simulated account. But I also trade real money, and I tell you so I can explain to you exactly what I'm doing. using real charts, real-time data. And we don't have this 20-minute delay or anything like that. We use real-time data and use real money, real trades, right? As well as sim accounts too. So sometimes we'll demonstrate things on a sim account, for example, how to repair a trade or something like that. If you have any questions, you get them answered in real time. And again, we have I like to say one of the longest, certainly the longest running trading room that I know of, and again since 2010. So I think we know what we're talking about, and you would be wise to get in on this, folks. The trading room here only costs you $6.99 for a 3 month period. Yeah, three a quarter, $6.99 a quarter. Let me just pull that up here. 6.99 divided by three, divided by say 4.3. That works out to about $5.42 per session. I cannot think of a better deal on anything than $5.42 on an option that on a program where you get direct mentoring from two professional traders. This is way underpriced, but I'm going to tell you how to get this, and I'm going to also tell you how to get the pick of the day, the day trades by signal, and the inner circle as well. All right, you can get these on our website, but you're going to pay what I call the rack rate, the top dollar on the website. If you want to go to the website, daytradespy.com, you can buy it there. Or all you have to do is email customer service at daytradespy.com. All right, all one word, customer service at daytradespy.com. Email them, tell them you're interested in whatever you want. Day Trade Spy Signal, the Inner Circle, the Pick of the Day, or the Trading Room. Tell them I sent you, that you're interested in the trading room for the $6.99 a quarter. And I believe they grandfather you. So when the quarter, is expired, then they'll grandfather you for the next quarter, the next quarter. But all of our programs are available for better price if you simply email customer service at daytradespy.com. Um, I cannot give you a reason. I cannot understand why you would not want to get in on this. It's such a good deal. All right, so let's get into our 2-minute tutorial. I get this question asked every now and then. Usually somebody who is new, they'll say, "Oh, what strategy should I trade? What strategy should I trade?" So a lot of people think that they can just simply follow us and they're going to get the same results as we do. And they may. But I tell them that it's probably not likely going to happen because the market is an ever-changing thing. It's always moving. Okay, I mean it's moving, second to second. I mean, it's always moving, right? And just because I might be able to buy an option for $2.68 doesn't mean you will. Even if you put it in for the same price, 268, you might get it for 265, or you might pay 270 for it or 272 or something. Okay, so it's always an ever-changing market. I say, it's best to understand what we're doing and learn what we're doing, master what we're doing, because we're all going to have different capitalizations. We're all going to have different risk tolerances. We're going to have different understandings of the strategies. We're even going to have different interpretations of the market, of what the market is doing right now. I mean, I could show you a chart, say, is it going up or down? You might say it's going down based on the 1 minute chart because I'm seeing the pressure to the downside. So, okay, you might be right. But I could pull up, say, a 5 minute chart and I see, well, the market is, retracing now, but at longer term, it's going up. So we're all going to have different things here, different inputs, and different, interpretations of what the whole thing is. So I tell people, look at you want to know what strategy you take, you have to consider whatever suits your style. Some people like oranges, other people like bananas. Okay. So for me, my style, because I am so impatient, you might have gathered that, you might be more patient. You might be okay with maybe a longer term expiration. You don't mind having several trades on at once. You may not mind waiting patiently in the bush until, your ship comes in or whatever. I like to get in and make my money right now. Okay, right now. I'm not looking to make a lot of money necessarily, but if I can get say 10 or 12 cents on a trade, I could be pretty happy with that. I can be pretty happy with that. That's just like a scalp, or even 6 cents. If I go and say with say 30 or 40 contracts or 50 contracts, and I make, say, 10 cents on that, say on a 50 contracts, 10 cents, what is that, $500 or something? And if I can do that in a matter of a few minutes, is that so bad? That's my style. You might have a different style. You have to look at your budget. Not everybody perhaps can trade as much as maybe I can, or you can trade more. I try not to tell people how much I'm trading because it's kind of a no-win situation for me. Everybody's going to have a different budget on this sort of stuff. So in other words, let's say I was say trading $10,000 per trade. Well, the guy that's trading 50,000 looking down and say, well, wait a second, I'm taking instructions from some guy who's doing penny ante stuff here. I don't think so. So he gets mad at me and leaves. Then the next person says, wait a second, you're trading $10,000 way beyond my pay scale. I can only trade 800. So then he's intimidated, so he doesn't join us. So I lose both, right? Look at, let's say I'm looking for a 5% gain. Well, a 5% gain is just as important to the person trading 50,000 as the person trading $800. And I get just as excited for the person who's made 5% on $800 as I do for the person who made 5% on 50,000. So it's all according to your budget and your your risk tolerance. Um, I might be okay if the stock goes against me, even, 30, 40, 50%, even 60, 70%. If I'm feeling confident that I'm going to get a reversal and go back up. So my risk tolerance is going to be different than everybody else's. And everybody's risk tolerance is going to be different. Some people get really spooked out when the stock goes against them by 10 cents. Oh, I got to sell. I'm down. I got to sell. Oh, well, hang on. If you sell every time the market goes down 10 cents, you're going to be broke in no time because the markets go up and they go down, and they're going to go down sometimes before they go back up. And the markets, it's nothing for the stock to go down a dime. So, it's all about your risk tolerance. Also your schedule. I know some people, while they work during the day, they don't have the time to maybe watch the markets even in the morning for an hour, but they do have that few minutes with which they can get in there and place a trade. All right. So it depends on your schedule, your personality. Again, what's fitting to your temperament, right? Your goals, right? If you're okay with making, say, $500 a day, well, just join us in the trading room because we'll probably make that in the morning in the first hour. If you're looking to make $200 a day, well, you might even just I'll just take the pick of the day, or I'll day trade SPY signal, and I'll just trade, say, 10 contracts. There's my $200 or something. Your knowledge. Your knowledge. I mean, if you really, if you're very knowledgeable, you really want to get into this thing, you want to learn more, get into the trading room. If you just want to be told which trade to trade, and you're sort of maybe you're moving around a lot during the day, but you've got your cell phone and you got your app with you all the time, get the Day Trade Spy Signal, all right, or the pick of the day. If you can get into your computer every morning at 9:30, get into the pick of the day, right? If you're just starting out, you don't really know what to do, got a little bit of money, you don't want to invest a whole lot in anything right now, get in the inner circle. It's a great place to start. Excuse me, you are going to learn a lot with that. Okay, so that gives you an idea. Okay, it gives you an idea. So that's my 2-minute tutorial for tonight. All right, so for some reason, I don't know why, this is the strangest thing here, but I'm going to give you a cup of coffee or hot chocolate or whatever. I should see if I can get some smoke coming out of this cup here. But any questions, put them up on the board there. And let me see, where am I? Am I still showing my video or not? Let me take a look here. I think so. Where's my video? Am I even showing a video? Hang on, stop the video. There I am. Okay. All right. Still no video? There it is. Okay. Oh, wow. Questions. Let's take some questions up. Okay. Okay. Doug. Uh, okay. Question. Thank you for your time this evening. Oh, Doug, no, thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. Question on the pick of the day. I'm educating myself, but still new here. Welcome. Welcome, Doug. Welcome, everybody. We have no strangers here. We're just friends we haven't met yet. I don't know where I heard that. That sounded really good. I thought I better remember that here. If there simply isn't a good pick, would there be a no pick that particular day? Okay. That's a good question. If there's no good pick, would that be a no pick that particular day? Um, we do, okay, so we really go out of our way to get a pick because markets go up and they go down, and oftentimes in both directions. So we'll look at short term, long term, medium term. We'll look at different things. We look a lot of different things. I can't even begin to tell you all the things that we look at because most of the things that we look at, they have been now ingrained in us over the last, 41, 42 years that Aaron and I have been doing this combined, right? You can even call it gut feel or something. You say, I know it's going to go down, Aaron. Why do you say that? Well, because we hit a record high, and always when it goes up in pre-market, you get a pullback, or whatever. We hit a major resistance level, or whatever. Whatever the inputs are. Or it could go up and they'll say it's going to come down. Say, I think it's going to go higher. Well, why? Because of the fundamentals. I'll say the fundamentals are very strong. All right. We got really good economic numbers here. And excuse me, inflation indicators. We may see a little retracement first, but longer term it's going to go up. I don't know how much the retracement. I'm not sure the retracement. This is what our conversations go like. I'm not sure the indicator, the retracement is going to give you that 6% gain. You see, we want to give you at least a 6% gain on these trades, right? I've been to, and I'm sure many of you have been to these courses where they say, well, the stock moved up 3 cents, therefore it's a success. I was going, hey, buddy, it's not, okay? Because you wouldn't have sold it for a 3 cent gain. What's that? That's nothing. That's nothing. What, you want me to risk money for a 3 cent gain or 5 cent gain? Um, no. So, but they say that it's a success. Well, it's not because unless you would have sold it. So we look at certain standards by which we measure success. And one of those standards is for example a 6% gain on the pick of the day or a 5% gain on the day trade spy signal. Or if we're looking at a scalp, I'll convert it from a percentage. I'll say I'm looking to get 10 cents from the scalp that I'm doing. Okay, so that's kind of what we're doing there. Um, so that's but we try and get a pick every day. Now the only reason we won't get a trade every day, a pick every day, is if frankly, is if the volatility is so extremely high that it's just too risky. If we find that there's too much risk, so in other words, if there's a real gap, a huge gap, and the market has not yet determined if it's going to continue on in that gap or retrace the gap, so you get very high volatility. In which case, if, for example, the beginning of the day, you're getting into the market open and say the volatility is, I don't know, 80% or something, that's very risky. So if you got into that trade and then they suck the volatility out of it, you get caught in that volatility squeeze, right? And you don't want to be in that. So then those are the times we would probably recommend a no trade today because of high volatility. It's like, you want to go sailing out in your little dinghy, in the lake, middle of the lake. But there's bad weather coming, right? There's some very good strong winds that are gonna, upset your boat. And you don't want to be out there trying to collect your belongings and your your sails underwater and trying to right the boat, and there you are in the middle of, the lake, and the waves are battering you, and it looks like you're going to drown. So best to just stay on shore, let the storm pass, and that's exactly what we're saying there. So. How did the signal work on Friday? I understand that it was a success. That's a good question. Let me see the signal track. We tracked the signal here. I will tell you how the signal worked, I believe, on Friday. I got a tracking spreadsheet on that. It made 5.3%. This is for the signal. It was the 609 call options. Got in, it triggered at 10:23. The buy time was 10:25. Got in at 3:02 and out at 3:18 at 10:38 for 5.3%. That was on Friday. That was on Friday for the signal. Congratulations to those who made money on that. Okay. All right. What performs better, the pick of the day or the day trade spy signal? If I'm investing the same amount of capital, what do your statistics show? Which performs better? They're both pretty well the same actually, Doug. They're both. I don't have the numbers. I want to say up around that 90% mark. Okay, they're both doing that 90% mark. I don't have updated numbers on that. I believe the people at Eagle administration, those guys know those numbers. They track all that stuff right to the letter. So. Um, anyway, that's the question. John McKay is confused the difference between the signal and the pick of the day. The signal can trigger at any time during the morning. All right, so just take your cell phone with you, and you're going to get a text message on your cell phone. So you could be, I don't know, wherever you are, you're driving the kids to school, or whatever if you're out with your job, you're in a truck somewhere, and I don't, and I've got a lineman. The guy works for the phone company down. I think he's in Texas or something. He uses the signal because he says he could be out on the road driving, and then the signal will come. Then he pulls over to the side of the road, pulls up the app, makes the trade. That's what he does. Whereas the pick of the day, you have to be in front of your computer at 9:30. All right, you're looking at 9:30. Okay, so the pick kind of you know keeps you down to your computer at 9:30, whereas the signal, you don't have to be in front of your computer. You could, like I say, you could trade off your laptop or whatever you have with you wherever you are. So a little more portable that way. They both do extremely, extremely well. All right. Another thing. Okay, been participating in Signal since August. Way to go, John. Good to see that. Da, da, da. Okay. I like this comment from Mark. Mark Y says, I'm with you on home repairs. I bring a box of Band-Aids with me every time I try something. That's a good point. Yes, Band-Aids. Uh, yes, that's me, man. Mark, you and I are the same. Yeah, I tell you, see, I never took shop in school. No, my parents made me take typing. Typing. I'm glad I took typing. If I didn't take typing, I couldn't type on the keyboard now. So, although that's you probably don't need typing now anymore either. Everything is AI, and just speaking. You can set up your Word documents where you speak into the microphone, and it will translate everything for you, just like these cell phones. So, people walk around like this. And my daughter, she told me the other day, said, well, why are you doing it the hard way, Dad? Those little letters are so small for your big fingers. Why don't you just speak into it? So, well, that's too cumbersome. Oh, really? You'll get used to it pretty quick. You hit this little microphone button, bang, and just talk. And as fast as you can talk, this thing transcribes it right on your cell phone. So I tried it, and sure enough, she was right. She says, before you send it, go back and read it and make any adjustments or whatever. I said, so that's how you do all these long, long text messages. Yeah, what do you think? I type it all. So yeah, yeah, the technology is such. But anyway, I figured I never really had to learn how to do. I should have learned how to do a lot of that home repair stuff. But although I do like to walk through Home Depot once in a while just to see what the real men are doing. I always say to them, "Yeah, can you land a plane?" Okay. Why is there no trading room this coming Friday the 13th? Who says there's no trading room, Phil? Is there no trading room this Friday the 13th? If there isn't, I want to know about it because I understand there is. Tell me what makes you say there's no trading room this Friday the 13th, because I have trading room this Friday the 13th, and I expect you to be there if you're a subscriber, which I think you are. What happened with Friday? Okay, just explain that one. That was another one here. Ritesh P. Thank you for the sessions. What impact do you expect on the market due to results? What impact do you expect on the market due to results? I'm not exactly sure I understand the question. What impact do you do? Sometimes people say to me, and if this, correct me if I'm wrong, but they say, well, if you tell everyone what the market's going to do, aren't you going to move the market? No. You see, SPY is so incredibly huge that if everybody on our chat lines, and I'm talking about a lot of people here, if everybody did the same trade at the very same moment, I honestly don't think it'll move the needle on SPY options at all. First of all, it'll be impossible for everybody to hit the button at the very same time, and through our various uh, servers and whatnot to actually hit the market at the very same moment in time. So it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But I will say that the more people use our strategies, the better the markets perform, right? Because we're all kind of looking at the same thing, and by practicing those strategies, they actually make the market move better and more in our favor. So we can actually trade that. So Okay. What's your thoughts on same-day expirations, Marianne? Excuse me. Okay, so unless you're kind of experienced with options, uh, probably best to stay away from same-day trade expirations. You can make a lot of money, and I have made a lot of money, but I've also lost a lot of money with same-day options expirations. I am prepared to lose if I do the same-day options. I'm prepared to make a lot of money, but I'm also prepared to lose. The reason is because you have no theta. It's all theta, I should say. You have no time value in your trades. So the whole day is a theta loss. And the theta loss moves very quickly and moves exponentially. So the longer you're holding on to the same day expiration trades, the faster your theta loss. And when they suck the theta out of your options, so let's say the market's going up and up and up, and you buy into the calls, it goes up, and it starts coming, and it immediately comes down. You'll notice that the market drops about 5 times as fast as it goes up. So let's say it goes up 20 cents, then it drops 15, 20, 25 cents. They suck the premium out of that real fast. If you're waiting for that stock to go back up, it might not get to that same level on the stock until maybe 2 hours later, but your option price is not going to be the same level where it was, where the stock was, if you follow me, right? So you can actually lose quite a bit. So be very careful with same day expirations. Even though I want to be in and out in a matter of minutes, like preferably even seconds, I still like to buy time. I like to buy further out time, usually anywhere from 2 days to 5 days, 6, 7 days, even sometimes, time is on your side only when you're selling options, but when you're buying them, you're kind of fighting the time component. And unless you're very experienced and very quick on the move, stay away from same day expirations. Now, not to say I don't do them. Once in a while I do. Usually when I'm not in the trading room. All right. After the trading room, that's usually when I'll do the same day expirations because what I do is I like to announce my trades. I know a lot of people just want to follow me naturally, so I don't want to have people follow me like sheep, thinking that it's automatically going to right. It's automatically going to trigger for them, just like it did with me. So I think it's very important. So I like to do safer trades if that makes any sense when I'm in the trading room. Okay. All right. Question here. Okay, from Ritesh here. Yes. Um, I subscribe. Notice that the trade might have been better if I didn't do the trade in the first 2 minutes. What's your recommendation on making that judgment call, like whether to wait 5 minutes or 10 minutes or an hour? I find, Ritesh, that most of my most profitable trades are done very early on. Now, depends on what happens. Usually, in the first couple minutes, you're going to get a rush. You're going to get that pent-up demand that as soon as the market opens up, the pent-up demand moves the market up. So if you can get in on that first little bit of time and make your money, you can actually have your profit for the day within the first 2 minutes. Now, after that, we don't know if it's going to continue or retrace or come back down, find support, go back up. Waiting an hour, forget it. I don't want to wait. I want to be in and out of my day within the hour if I can. And I don't think that and necessarily waiting 5 or 10 minutes per se is going to make much difference. I think that I like to get in as early as possible, make my money, and then be done with it. Um, but I think you'll get that judgment later on as you see what happened from the opening bell to where you would have made your 6%. And that's why the pick of the day works well because we try to get in right at the beginning. So if you get in right at the beginning, you make your 6%, in 2 minutes. That's a pretty cool way to start the day off. So Phil says the Zoom schedule says there's no trading on Friday. Phil, only through Thursday on the Zoom. I don't know, Phil. We'll make sure that Friday's Zoom registration for the trading day will be there too for Friday. It should be there every day. Okay, so it should be there every day. So if it doesn't, then let us know. But we're going to be here Friday. We're not going anywhere Friday. So all right. Okay, another question here. SPY trading volume, and we're just going to wrap it up pretty soon here. SPY trading volume is down over the last 10 trading days. Average volume for SPY is 45 million. 9 out of the last days have been below 45. Any thoughts? You know what? That kind of volume, if it's in the millions like that, is fine. Okay. When you have volume on SPY like that, it's in the millions. It's not going to. it's not going to have really any material effect on the on our options or the trading. So if I think if you're trading, 20, 30, 40 million, between 40 and 45 million, there's going to be no difference in SPY. What you have is when you have, say, quadruple witching day, which is where all the futures and the options and everything expires on the same day. You're gonna have a lot more volume, and what happens there is you're gonna have a lot more activity going on, and the trades could be more amplified if that makes any sense. So they'll be more sensitive perhaps to the changes. So, but as a rule, there should be no difference in the volume. As long as the volume is high, which it is on SPY, you should be fine. If it falls, I think if the day's volume drops below 10 million, they'd be wondering, okay, what's going on here? This is something's not right. Okay, then it would be it. Da, da, da. Okay, all right. And let me just see if there's any other questions real quick here. Okay, the schedule said no trading, but when you confirm it, sent out Zoom links to all five. Okay, I don't know what the Zoom link sent out. Aaron sent that out here. I'll have to check it. Okay, if you got the Zoom link for Trading Room already, trust me, folks, it is for all 5 days. Use the link for all 5 days, all right? So that would have been an error. All right, I think with that, I tortured you enough. Thanks for joining us, folks. Been a real pleasure, and hopefully get the PowerPoint working for next week. All right, hope to see you in the Trading Room tomorrow morning. Been a real pleasure, folks. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Shine brighter than the moon and the sun. Be great at what you do. Give it all of you. And trust the process and keep your eyes on the prize. I can tell you